Good morning, May 13th of my 365-day yoga challenge. What was my original point? What was the original idea here? The original idea was I get up, I put on yoga clothes, and I do 6 sun salutations, and then I proceed to do like another hour of yoga. It was the catalyst to get me moving in the morning. And I would document it every single day, and it would become a priority because I said I was going to do it, and I got to do it. This camera angle is really irking me. Since I have started working almost exclusively on the studio, it's become a pain in the neck. I enjoy doing it, but there's a lot of gear shifting because I switch out of yoga clothes into work clothes immediately and I go to work because it's a major priority to get that project done. So on one end, it's an obstacle to my physical practice, but it's also going to be a gateway to more physical practice when I have a dedicated indoor space. And the space is huge. It's the entire length of the second story of my little house. But it's a big room, so one half of it is not going to be a yoga studio. One half of it is going to be something else. I'll have an open floor plan, you know. But it's a lot of work to work on a room that big and to deal with all the old post and beam stuff. So it's taking up a lot of bandwidth. And changing into yoga clothes and doing my 365 and then changing into work clothes and then getting up there to do the work, there's, you know, it feels like it's stuff that's in the way, which has become in and of itself its own practice, right? Because yoga is not just a physical practice. There's so much more to our practice than just the physical space, just like in martial arts. Most of the practice is not physical in both disciplines. So the practice has gone away from being a physical morning routine to being a deep inner practice of focusing, being intentional, and doing my sun salutations as if they're the only things that exist except for puppies. And that's one of the reasons initially why I wanted to do it outside. It's easier to find that center space if you don't have a lot of external distractions. If you're in the middle of a rainstorm or the beach when it's 12 degrees outside, you have to double down and triple down on the mental discipline and think to yourself, forward fold, and all of the little bits and pieces that come into a forward fold, instead of thinking, oh, I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold, right? I guess what I'm saying is I've gotten more out of the mental discipline than the physical discipline. And really that's a truth right there, right? Any physical space starts up here. You don't just start working out at the gym one day and then say, I think I'll get fit. You begin that process up here, and then you move that process into meat space. So it's shifted subtly. suddenly a wild Cassie appears. It's shifted from being a mental discipline over the weather to being a mental discipline over myself. And honestly, the mental discipline now, it's harder. The weather was an external thing that I could push against, right? Like, I'm not going to let that bother me, you know? Now it's a mental discipline against what I want to get done, and also what I want to get done. So what do you gain from it? Maybe nothing. Maybe nothing. It's not really the point. We don't always endeavor to do things for gain. And then again, merely accomplishing something that's difficult is in and of itself its own gift. Again, it's mental discipline and it's mental maturity, I think. I think if I had to put something on it, I would say I'm gaining a certain type of maturity that's an internal maturity. It's not to say that I'm growing old. Maybe maturity is being is allowing yourself to be in the moment that you're in, instead of being in the moment you think you should be in, or you want to be in, or someone else thinks you should be in. Maybe mental and emotional maturity is being able to be present right now, no matter what's happening. As always, thanks for joining me on my practice today. Namaste.